All right, my name is Samuel Groft. I'm here documenting my life being framed by the courts here in Los Angeles. Uh, they are doing some wicked stuff. And look, I'm fighting a case where I was framed. Okay, I was framed, completely framed. I have this dump truck public defender named uh, Rochelle Toonstall. I wanted to file a Marsden motion so I can have her removed. Before I could do that, they okey doke me and they sent me to competency court. Okay, 6 months after I bailed out, they saying I'm incompetent and I'm not fit to help fight this case. I don't know the court procedures. This is ridiculous. My 30th arrest. I'm being framed since I've been a kid, and this is just sickening. Wait till you see this. This guy who interviews me, come to find out, I did my research. His name is Jeffrey Wishman. He is a bankruptcy attorney. Okay? A bankruptcy attorney. He's not a doctor. They are pretending. Man, my attorney, Deborah Baltack, some lady that screwed me over before as a public defender, her son's a movie star. Just like I thought. His name is Lean. Something Lean. He was the Home Alone kid, Home Alone 3 kid. Look, Linz, Linz. This is ridiculous. Everything I ever thought or had a theory of is absolutely true. They are raping the public for their brilliance and throwing us in jail cells through some bullshit. This case is crazy. Now they want to put me in the hospital because it's total framing, but they've deemed me incompetent now based on this interview. Wait till you hear this interview. And this is not an interview about mental health. This is an interview to see if I'm aware of the court proceedings. They said I was incompetent. Now I have to go for a second opinion or by a forensic. This is crazy. Wait till you hear this.
Dr. Perot, I'm a court psychiatrist. I'm here to see if they're competent to stand trial. So I don't make the decision if they're competent or not. It's the judge will make the decision. I record our interview. I send it to the judge. The judge will look at that or whatnot. So it's not confidential. Yeah, this is an okey doke move. I mean, I asked for a margin motion and they totally just like threw it away to the side. And I had told my attorney I was going to do that. I think she was upset with me for that reason. So she sent me here. I didn't do anything. Okay, all right. And just so you know, this conversation cannot be recorded. I don't know if you're recording. Oh, no. All right, so I know you were charged recent. It was 6 months ago. You were in some sort of psychiatric facility? Yeah, I was living there in the ODR program. I graduated the ODR program. Okay. And they said, okay, you're going to get housing. You can stay here as long as you need to, right? Sure. Well, they said, no, you have to start paying rent. And you have to pay $1,200 a month to share a bedroom. And I was like, no, I'm not going to pay. Like, that's crazy. So they evicted me. But they tried to send me some fake paperwork. I was like, this is not even an accurate eviction. Well, then they filed one in the courthouse. So now I was like, what the heck? So I'm fighting the eviction with them. And then that's when the management came and said, hey, we're going to make sure you get out of here. And then they called the police and framed me. And the police were knocking on my door one night talking about, so let me ask you a few questions. First, everyone that's about mental health history. What have you been diagnosed with in the past? I like bipolar disorder. I think they put schizoaffective, but to be honest with you, a lot of times I just utilize that to get better housing in the jail system. So I don't. You take medication? Yeah, I just saw a doctor, Exodus, and he actually lowered my medication. I have the paperwork. What medication? He took me off Celexa. It was a Zyprexa, but instead of 20 milligrams a day, he dropped it to 15. And then he said to taper it down after 1 week. Like, I can show you the paper. No, you don't need to show the paper on it, but I'm actually getting seen by a doctor. How much Zyprexa do you currently take? Just one in the morning and then one at night. But he's like 5 milligrams in the morning, 10 at night? No, it's like 10 and 5, but he's going to try to get it down to, it was 10 and 10, but he's trying to get it down to just 10. Okay. And how many times have you been psychiatrically hospitalized before? I don't know. Like, hospitalized was just one time that they put me in there, and that was another okey doke move because it wasn't, I didn't do anything, it was just ODR stuff. Okay. But I was on the freeway, so it was like, what symptoms of bipolar disorder have you had in the past? Well, I get irritated whenever, not irritated, but like, of course, when somebody falsely says some things, you can get upset, right? So I'm just talking about in general. I don't really have any symptoms. Honestly, I don't believe that I have any. Never like hearing voices. No. No. Do you use drugs like meth? No. What about in the past? No, not really. I mean, in the past, maybe, well, when I was younger, maybe, but like, no. Look, I still have all my teeth. I have no cavities. These are just normal questions I ask everyone. When was the last time you used any like meth or coke or anything? 15 years. Oh, okay. So it's been a really long time. Yeah. Okay. And I passed all my drug tests in the ODR. I was on parole. I passed all that stuff. You know, like, I'm clean. You know. Yeah, like this is supposed to see if I understand the criminal proceedings, right? Like I go to law library all the time. And that's fine. And so and just a reminder, I'm not here to say if you're guilty or not guilty. I don't care if you're guilty or not. It has no effect over my evaluation, and I don't take anything I write in here. Guilty, not guilty, is not going to be reflected in your case. That doesn't matter. The only thing I care about is that you understand the charges, the allegations against you. Sounds like you go to a law library, so you might know a bunch of stuff. But even though you have this education, I still have to ask you all this stuff. I understand. All right. Do you know what you're being charged with? Yeah, it's assault with a deadly weapon and interfering with this cell phone. Okay, and it's 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, I guess that's what they showed, but there's no camera. The camera footage shows nothing, and the 911 call was 45 minutes. Again, you're just going through the book. Yeah, not good. I heard the term yell. Okay. Yeah. So, you understand it's 2 charges. I guess it's 2 charges of assault with a deadly weapon because there's probably 2 different people that said something, and interfering with a cell phone. Are they misdemeanors or felonies? 2 are felonies, 1 is a misdemeanor. Yep, that's correct. If found guilty, you know what your potential sentences? Probably 3. I figured 4, 2, 3, and 4 is what AEW carries, but it's kind of a wobbler because no one got hurt, so it can drop down to a misdemeanor if held on long enough. I'm guessing that they put interfering with something. You just focus on the question. All right. So my question is, you know, they found guilty with the sentences, right? Oh, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then what about the interference with the wireless? It's a misdemeanor. Yeah, so probably a few months or something. I think they would probably just throw it out. They probably put that on and drop the whole case. My question is not if they'll possibly drop it. They're found guilty with it. So it's probably a few months. Okay, yeah, 6 months. Yeah, and what, do you know the various plea options? As far as what you could plead, do I know what they're going to offer? No, what they're going to offer. You know, when the judge says, how do you plead, you know what options you have. Oh, yeah, no contest, guilty, or no contest or guilty, right? Or no contender. No, it's the same thing as this. There's also not guilty. Okay, oh, really? Yeah. But if you're going to plead, then, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and do you know what, and this one's the most difficult here for people that read up on it, but do you know what the actual definition of no contest is? Means that you're not admitting guilt and you're not saying you're innocent either, right? You're just not going to contest the fact that they're calling you, they're saying that you're just, I don't know, you're not contesting it. You're not admitting it. You're not denying it. You're not like, I can either, you know, affirm or deny, right? So you just... Yeah, that's correct. You still get punished for it? Well, whatever you have worked out with it, you still get to take the plea. You're accepting the fact that you're willing to do this much for a detention period or whatever, and in return, you're not admitting guilt or saying you're innocent. You're just not contesting the fact that they're saying these charges were against you. That would be my best. Yeah, no, you nailed it. Yeah. What's the role of the public defender? To assist in helping out the accused, which would be me, the defendant, against the people that are like filing charges against me. She would help work with me, and I help her out in order to, in the best effort to. Yeah. Do you know what a plea bargain is? It's an offer. And then it sounds like you know what the idea of witnesses and evidence and things. Of course, yeah. All right, so now specifically about your case, how are you going to address these charges? Well, I'm going to file Marsden's motion, and I'm going to... What motion? Marsden motion. How do you spell that? Marsden. What does that mean? To be heard on getting rid of my attorney, like basically taking her away and having a new attorney come in. However, if I do that, it could have reflected against her record or whatnot. I might not do that. So I might just ask to go pro per. You know what I mean? To go pro per. But martial motion, it means that the judge clears the courtroom and he has to hear he asks you what is wrong with your attorney. You let him know what's going on with the attorney. What is wrong with the attorney? My attorney is, man, when I went to go meet with her, she wanted me to sign over my phone records, and I said, why should I have to sign over my phone records? Yeah. And since I didn't agree with that, she said, oh, you're going to have a hard time with the case. I was like, it has nothing to do with the cell phone. This is not my phone on file. And then I was like, can I please just get my paperwork? You know, I should be able to. Why? She wanted my records. What was her reason for that? She didn't have one, and she wouldn't tell me, and she wouldn't even let me look at the paper she wanted me to sign. So that was our first initial, I recorded the whole thing. Like, that was our first initial encounter, right? So I'm like, listen, man, I just want to get my paperwork so I can help assist you. I know you're busy. She said, no, you can only have your paperwork after the case is over. I'm like, what is that? How good is that? That means that I can't help you fight my case effectively. And she just kept going, Mr. Rock, and giving me a hard time. So then I finally contacted her supervisor, and then she gave me my paperwork, right? She finally gives me the paperwork. So then she gives me the paperwork, I'm helping her, and it's just, man, we were having a tough time. And I basically told her, hey, look, man, I'm just going to ask for martial motion, so we can just continue to do it. She's like, well, don't worry, I'm setting you up. I'm not for you guys. And I was like, why would you do that? You know, and I got frustrated a little bit, but nothing serious. It was just like, Your Honor, like, this is absurd. Yeah. But, okay. I've never been to 95. I've never had. I mean, I went through the mental health. I just graduated ODR.
Yeah. So I don't understand
why she did that to me.
No, not that. Why? Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So she didn't explain to you why she wanted your cell phone?
No, that's what I said. What do you need my cell phone records for? I said, why should I have to turn over my phone records? She's like, well, I can assure you that I don't need it for my personal life. That doesn't make sense, though. What do you need it for then?
Okay, so why don't you want to file a Rosen motion?
I do want to file.
Why don't you want to work with another attorney? Why do you prefer going pro per?
I believe that I can effectively help myself more than any of these people can. Look, they bound over cases, right? So they'll bound them over after preliminary hearing. They say most cases get bound over. That's because they don't explain what's going on effectively. They always say, let's wait for trial. We all know there's like 2% of cases go to trial. It always ends in a plea bargain. So why don't you, that's like the most important part of the case as far as I'm concerned. Lay it out there, you know, like I'm going to bring up the fact the 911 call came in 45 minutes before the video footage. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
how is that possible?
So what?
And she doesn't want to bring that up at prelim. And I was like, why wouldn't you bring that up?
Well, why do you think that is the case?
Because the video footage is dark, and they said that the 911 call came in at 8:15. That was in August. It was in light outside.
Okay, but how is that relevant to your case?
Because who called 911 on a crime that hasn't even occurred yet?
So, you're saying that maybe these people set you up?
Yes, they did. It was total framing. The whole thing was a setup, and there's no video footage of anything. So, okay, there's videos, but it doesn't show me doing anything. But walking out the gate, and it was 45 minutes after they called 911. So they called 911, and the alleged crime hadn't even occurred.
Why?
Because they evicted me, right? Well, the California's eviction rules says it takes a year to be evicted. So he's on video, the manager's on the video. I'm filming him on video, and he goes, Rob, I'm going to get you out of here, you'll see. And I'm like, I'm showing my attorney this, and she's like, well, let's just wait till after the prelim. I'm like, what's wrong with you? This is a total framing case. Why would I be there? Why did they even file this case?
Yeah.
And then now to come here, it's like, come on, man. It's terrible. Look, I don't know. I think it was all to get me into civil court, because now they have these civil court, and they're talking about probate. I'm like, what are you talking about probate for? Like,
What do you mean?
I don't know, man. It is the weirdest case. I'm telling you right now, it's super weird.
What did they explain it to you?
I don't understand it. You have to look on the civil criminal thing, but it says ATT versus Plain. These are the people against me. I don't know why their name, I don't know why it says that, okay? So it says that. Then when I go to see Commissioner Cohen, she goes, okay, well, we're going to have to set, because I asked for a different for a judge to hear my case. She goes, all right, well, it's still going to go through the wheels of probate. And I was like, wait, say that again? And she said, no, you can speak with the Maria Shriver Foundation if you have any questions. I was like, okay. But I had recorded it, right? So I did that for my own personal reason. When I went back to listen to it, I was like, she slid in the wills of probate. Why is she bringing up a wills in probate? We're a restraining order court. That has nothing to do with it. And I keep bringing it up. And they will not answer.
But why do you think she did?
I don't know. I do not know.
Do you have any theories?
I have theories, but I mean, I don't know if they're accurate. I mean,
like what?
Maybe I have some sort of will that is in that there's something supposed to come to me, and they're just trying to steal it. I don't know. I don't.
The court's trying to.
I don't really know. I don't know. I've been studying this stuff in Black Law's Dictionary, and they use words like the said agreement, the said, the sades, and it means something in like vested, of course, and so forth. But that's a whole different side of law. You know, it's civil law. But
yeah.
I don't really know.
Wait, but who do you think trying to steal your money?
I don't know. I'm just telling you the events that took place, okay? I don't want to accuse anybody. I'm not here to do that. I'm just telling you what I've been through. And this is all backed up on the minute orders, on the audio files. It's something I really...
Also, how can you have like 4 cell phones?
I do have 4 cell phones.
Yeah, why? Why do you have 4 cell phones?
Just different reasons. They're all active. I use one for a phone, one for like listening to music, the other one for research and so forth. I mean, I go to law library all the time.
Yeah, but why do you have 4 different? I mean, why do you use 4 different phones? Those people would just prefer to have one thing set on one.
I don't like to be interrupted when I have music on one, playing unlimited on one. If I'm looking up something on another phone, another phone.
But you want to be interrupted.
It interrupts me though, yeah, it does, because it's on YouTube. So say I'm on YouTube and I'm listening, say I'm watching YouTube, right? And somebody tries to come through, then it goes through there, and then it's just more hassle. So I'd rather work on one, work on another one, and then work on that.
Do you think the court is targeting you specifically for any reason?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. You mean targeting me?
Yeah.
Do I feel I'm framed? Yes. Okay, yeah. I mean, I am being framed. Yeah, but I don't want to say that to you because the next thing you know, you're going to go, oh, he's losing his mind. I'm not.
I'm not saying that at all.
I know.
You've already told me that you think you're framed. It's not.
I know I was framed.
Yeah. So.
It's not that I think. I know. It's nobody listens to me. You're the only one who's ever even took the time to ask me, like, dude, you're looking at it yourself, and you're like, this looks a little odd. Like, somebody would just have to let me show them. I can show you, like, this is all ridiculous.
All right, so let me ask you some hypothetical questions here. So, if your attorney, if you're going to go for a firm, let's say you're offered a deal, and that deal is something like, because you know that you can do a lot of time if you lose.
I wouldn't take a deal on this case.
What?
I wouldn't take any deal.
Why?
Because I didn't do it.
But even though you didn't do it,
Doesn't matter.
there's no witness against you.
Okay, but those people are going to civil court right now trying to have a restraining order against you, right? And they've already got caught live on the stand. Their restraining order is going to get thrown out. So if there's no restraining order, and this is all, it's all made up.
Well, there's nothing related to a restraining order in this case.
I understand, but because I bailed out, right? They put a restraining order against me, right? But they waited because I kept going back to get my property. Now I'm being illegally locked out. They won't even let me live there right now.
Sure.
So, and they took a police report on that and said, okay, yeah, they're supposed to let you back. They're not. So they're not letting me in. So they put a restraining order. Now they're in the restraining order court and they're on the stand, but they falsified what they said. And it's like, the judge freaked out, and the judge goes, no, I need to get more paperwork up here or something, and then they switched it. Now I'm going to Pasadena for restraining order court, and I was like, why does it keep getting moved around? It went from one court to another court to another court.
Why do you think it is?
I have no idea.
So weird. But why do you, I know you don't know.
I don't know.
Do you have any theories on that? It's so odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think these people are working specifically with the court?
I mean, maybe we talk another time, but no, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, listen, I do not know. I mean, we all have theories, but it's, it's better to just say, I don't know. You know what, I've been going through emotions in the course a lot,
Sure.
Whatever's laid out against me,
So what do you think your probability of winning this case if you win?
100%.
Why?
Because I didn't do anything, and then there's no video.
But even though, here's the thing with the court. Sometimes people that are innocent get charged as guilty. Sometimes people that are charged as guilty get charged as innocent.
Okay, but the elements of the crime, are not there. Nobody was in fear for their life, first of all. You have to show fear for there to be a second.
But you're saying that they're lying, right?
Yeah, they're not lying. In Black Law's dictionary, that means they're telling the truth. So if you say that and according to the law, that means they're being accurate. So they're
saying that they have a witness, which is one of them. There's multiple people.
okay, but all those people are on camera from what they showed. Remember, 45 minutes later, so they were all on camera, showed with me, and we're all getting along, everything's just fine. So there's no crime that occurred. There's no weapon.
Okay, but explain this. So you're saying that the 911 call came 45 minutes before the
Yes.
What video are you talking about?
They have a video footage where they said that I lunged at them with a knife. There was no knife, and there's no alleged lunging at each other or nothing. There's nothing. The cops found nothing, and the next day, these people at the program said, "Oh, we found the knife. We found the knife in the bushes," and they turned it into the police. You cannot do that. That is framing somebody, and they're all from another country, so they think they can do this, I guess, and get away with it. I don't know, but it's total frame. It's horrific, sir. I mean, and when I get mad, at least you seem like a concerned. I like that.
But listen, here's the thing, and no matter how sure you that you'll win this case,
I agree.
I'm not trying to argue that you're guilty. That's not what I'm trying to argue. What I'm trying to argue is,
Would I take a deal if I?
no, I'm just trying to see how you could be so sure you're going to win the case. You can't make the decision for the jurors. You can't make the decision for the judge.
It would never go that far. I'll file a 995 motion to dismiss. So I'll file a 995 motion to dismiss after, if it were to get rounded over from prelim, right? Then I'll file a 995 motion to dismiss.
What's that? 995
A
petition.
995 is called a motion to dismiss the case due to lack of evidence. And it gets thrown out a lot after they get rounded over.
Okay, but let's say it does go to court. Let's say it goes to trial.
Well, like 2% of cases go to trial.
Let's say
it does. The only thing that I would agree, like if they were to go, hey, we have a deal to offer you. Okay, interfering with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing, but I would probably take an interference with a cell phone because it's an infraction, right? So that's why they left that on the table, right? You know, I'm charged with that, right? So my attorney, Tunstall, was trying to get that thrown out, and I'm like, oh, man, what are you doing? That's our bargaining tool. Like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you get this other stuff thrown out? That was our bargaining tool. She's trying to take that off the table, so there's no bargaining tool.
All right. Do you have any other questions or any questions for me before I let you go? I mean, we've already gone through everything.
No, but does that make complete sense, right?
Well, I'm not like your opinions on any of that type of stuff.
But you're asking me my opinion, so
Yeah, well, I'd ask you
I'm just curious as to why you asked that. You want to see my approach towards?
Well, these are just questions that I have to ask everyone. But I mean, it is an interesting case to play that. But anyway, everyone, thank you for your time.
Can you tell me your findings or your
I don't make any decisions on because the judge I think you have to talk to your attorney that you can.
Okay. But so will you let me know or you should?
No, the judge, because I don't make decisions, the judge will let me know.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
So there you have it, guys. That's horrific, right? Horrific. I'm being totally set up, framed, and they labeled me incompetent after that. Now listen to this. They tell me to sit in a waiting room, right? I sit there till 3:30. Nobody comes to see me, right? I go into the courtroom and they're like, "Oh, we have already issued a warrant." I was like, "A warrant? I've been sitting here waiting. The bailiff told me to wait in the waiting room." They said, "Oh, yeah, we were told that you left, and man, I stayed there the whole time. I never left. They tried to put a warrant out for my arrest too. Then they recalled the warrant and said that I was incompetent, that doctor said I was incompetent. This is terrible, man. So please fight for me, world. I don't know. I don't think you will. Nobody cares, but this is disgusting. Even my own family doesn't even listen to me, dude. Nobody listens to me. I've done nothing, man. That's why I start recording these people. Like that interview right there labeled me incompetent. How am I incompetent? That guy didn't even know the terms I was using. He didn't even know the legal mumbo jumbo they use, This is horrific, dude. I could have been a goddamn attorney, man. Telling me I'm incompetent. That's crazy, dude. Like, I'm baffled, but the fight for my life and freedom goes on and nobody listens. So hopefully they'll listen to this and then they'll probably be like, oh, well, thank you.